Hi, everybody. This is Tom with Culture Chap. So, today I want to talk to you about being an innovator. Now, it's a big word. It's like investigator or inventor or any of those other words that are big, massive words that mean something that you're reticent to do. Innovation in the theater isn't anything new. People get bogged down in what the show should be and what these characters should be. So I am often hailed or criticized in reviews for some of my innovations. Now, I don't think they're innovations, they're mostly born of practicality. I don't believe, and I have a family scene, that the man should just sit there with the pipe and do nothing while the wife does everything. I don't like that. Okay? It's something we've seen too often, and I don't like it at all. So I have the man tend to the children, the man do the washing up, the man do the cooking, you know, or share the responsibilities. That's more real life, okay? And it gives your actors something to do. I also, this is the funniest one, I don't like super high heels on women on stage. I don't think there's a need for it. I get a lot of pushback from actresses, not a lot of actresses, but like a small handful, that say they won't be attractive unless they're wearing high heels. Are you kidding? No, stop it. Stop it. The thing about the women I do have on stage, I don't believe they should just sit on divans and pose and not do anything or hobble across the stage in corsets and high heels and miniskirts. I just don't like it. I think it's dumb. I think they are attractive enough as women and the other costumes we put them in and what they're doing with their bodies and their faces to do the scene to attract whoever they want or be attractive to the crowd or play that character who doesn't have to be attractive every single second. So I often put them in shoes that are lower, that are vintage. Not vintage, old, but like vintage styles. The 1930s shoes with the straps that hold you in, that have the low heel that are blocky, that have cool shapes and those spectator pumps looks, the two tones, those are amazing. They're amazing on stage and they capture the attention no matter what era you're in. And then I can have the actress run across stage when she wants and be safe. I can have I've had one actress do flips. She had been a gymnast. She offered to do it. It made it so much funnier. And when I gave her better shoes, lower heeled, solid heel shoes, that were still extremely cool looking, the show was amazing. The show was amazing and she was amazing. And she had said, I didn't realize I could do this. I'm like, yeah, your character's sexy, but you're sexy in another way. You're a surprise. How about that? They called it innovative in, in reviews, which made me laugh. But whatever, we got a good review. Sometimes props are in the innovations, but you have to give your audience something to hold on to. So if you have an accident, maybe you're doing a show that's very modern or very mid-century, and everything matches and everything's sleek, and they only use white plates and mugs and glasses, and suddenly there's an accident backstage, and you don't have enough white mugs. So you send them on with whatever is handy. You know, maybe it's some pottery, beautiful Greek looking mug or a hippie 1970s mug. Just give them a line. Say, this happens. All of you, if anything happens to your props and you come on with something different in this very stark, very modernist show, just have a little ad lib like, oh, it was my mom's. Or, oh, look what I found. Isn't it beautiful? One line. That takes care of it. If you have decided with your costume designer to do something different, I don't think the shoes need to be commented on, but I think if there's things that they're not expecting, a man who's wearing a color that's not expected, a man at a wedding with a giant boutonniere or something, give it to my wife gave me these flowers and I fashioned it into a boutonniere for myself. I think it's great. One line. That's all you need. Maybe you're doing it because that character needs more attention. Maybe they're comedic. Maybe they're more serious. Maybe you're giving them more dimension by giving them something unusual in that show. Okay? Innovations are also the way you stage your show. If you use more of the audience, I do it because I need more room. or I want them to really pay attention to this scene that this minor character is doing. So I have them, minor character, talking to the audience. And they call it interactive when it's not interactive, but that's okay. Maybe I often think of Little Women, the musical. Now, in the musical and in the story, she gets given a piano by her neighbor who she becomes buddies with. Beth, the daughter who dies, is given a piano that his own dead daughter used to play. He's giving it to Beth because he's very rich. It never gets played. He feels bad for her and bad for the piano. So he gives it to Beth. So a piano needs to show up on stage when previously all they've had to play music is this little spinet, a little harpsichord. If you don't know, those are very compact. Okay, and this is a piano. So I decided that I was doing it in a studio theater. Great. And I decided to do it with chamber music, not a big orchestra, just 3 instruments: piano, cello, violin. So I brought the piano forward, the grand piano, forward so the audience could see it. It's always there. It's there when they walk in. The musicians are right there next to the actors. So when he gives the piano as a gift, she's like, and she goes and pretends that she's never seen this big piano. And she goes down and she sits next to the piano player and she plays with the piano player who has his back to the audience. So we don't see exactly what she's doing and the music comes out of it. It's all you need. They called it innovative. That's nice. I got good reviews. It was necessary for the musical, for the play, to have that be exposed. So it became necessary for me to do it that way. Okay? Not that innovative, but if that's what they want to call it, okay. Now, when you have a very innovative prop or costume, you need to give it some attention, as long as it doesn't take away from your story, okay? And the audience needs to land on it, okay? If everyone in the play is paying attention to that thing, then the audience will also pay attention to it as well. If the thing or the person is wearing such a different color, or bringing out such a different prop, or dancing in a totally different way than everyone else, it needs a line, it needs something to give it some grounding, okay? And the line needs to be something that just gives it grounding, like, this isn't that bizarre in our world. You've noticed it, you've noticed them, you've noticed this color. Now we know, now we can move on with the rest of the story. But it's been this fun little moment, especially with bizarre props. Especially with bizarre props. If they don't fit your world, then great. Now, I don't happen to like corsets on stage either, so I just have people say it. Like, aren't you wearing a corset? No, I'm not. I'm a rebel. Done. You're finished. Innovations are more than just stuff. It's lighting. It's your poster. It's the way you direct. It's your choreography. It's your opera. It's your taking the opera that is so familiar or your familiar song in your musical and giving it a much bigger ending or a bigger dance piece or a trip or a fall or this or that. But it's got to be entertaining, have a reason, and be well thought out why this character would be slightly different than the norm if that's what you're calling attention to. Be grounded with your innovation. Everything that we see in movies and so forth, at one time it was innovative. Okay? West Side Story, with the way they put that story together and the dancing was very innovative. It had never been done before then. Cats the musical on stage with their costumes and their style of story had never been done on the stage before. And on and on and on and on. Okay? All these things are innovative. I could keep quoting things, but it'd be ridiculous. Start thinking about the things that you love and why you love them, and also why some of the innovations don't work. Okay? What people are used to and what they'll take in their innovations sometimes don't work. A movie I love, because I know the person that it's about, is Under the Tuscan Sun. Now, I'm a San Franciscan, and everybody knows Frances. She used to teach at our local university. And then she moved to Italy, and they made a movie about it. And the story was slightly skewed, but say what you will, it's very entertaining. So it has flaws. Big deal. A lot of movies have flaws. Don't tear it apart. I think the innovation they did was that she doesn't meet the right guy until the end. So we don't see the romance that she ends up with. We just see all the wrong guys. And I think that innovation is very interesting, but it was too much for viewers, and they often complain about it, that it's advertised as a romantic comedy without the romance. Don't know what to say about it, but that's with the advertising and the style of story. It should have been advertised differently. I don't know what it falls into, but do you see what I mean? Okay? There needs to be accurate advertising for what you're doing. Accurate when you interview about your show, perhaps on the radio or NPR or any of these places. You need to be saying, you need to call yourself innovative, but you need to put out these things like, it's a little different. It's not too different. People will love it. And you have to have your courage of conviction that you are right about this. Again, don't go way out. Be interesting rather than trying to shock. All right. That's my message for today. Please like and subscribe. I'm getting a lot of views, but not a lot of subscribers. Please help me with this. All right. Thank you very much, and we'll talk again.